HOA horror stories. Homeowners share their worst experiences. When people imagine their dream homes, they usually think about white picket fences, friendly neighbors, and peaceful afternoons. What they don't imagine is being stalked by their HOA, fined for their kids drawing with chalk, or having to fight for their right to fly the American flag. It all started in a small neighborhood called Oak Ridge Estates, a place that looked beautiful on the outside, manicured lawns, clean sidewalks, and a community park. But beneath that perfect surface, something ugly was brewing. The Johnson family had only been living there a few months when they received their first violation notice. Their crime? Their mailbox was painted the wrong shade of black. Not even the wrong color, just the wrong shade. They were fined $150 and told to correct the issue immediately. At first, they thought it was just a misunderstanding. But then their neighbor, Mrs. Langley, was fined $300 because her garden gnomes were unauthorized exterior decorations. Meanwhile, across the street, a little boy was scolded because he had drawn a rainbow in chalk on his driveway. His parents received a $100 citation for graffiti. It got worse during the holidays. The Parkers put up tasteful Halloween decorations, pumpkins, skeletons, a few lights. Harmless fun, right? Not according to the HOA. They received daily fines until they finally took everything down in tears. It turned out the HOA had secretly banned all seasonal displays without informing the homeowners. But the true nightmare belonged to Mr. Howard, a Vietnam veteran who proudly displayed a small American flag on a pole in his front yard. One morning, he woke up to find a letter taped to his door. Remove unauthorized structure. Fine pending. Mr. Howard refused. 2 weeks later, the HOA sent contractors to forcibly remove the flagpole while Mr. Howard sat helplessly on his porch, watching them tear it down. The entire neighborhood felt like it was under siege. It wasn't about keeping the community beautiful anymore. It was about control. One day, things took a darker turn. A young couple noticed a strange car parked outside their home every single day. It turned out the HOA president had been spying on residents, documenting every violation in secret. One woman was fined because her curtains were too colorful and could be seen from the street. The worst story came from the Wilsons, an elderly couple who fell behind on HOA dues after a medical emergency. Their total debt? $600. The HOA tried to seize their home through foreclosure proceedings. A house worth nearly $500,000, almost taken over $600. Thankfully, the neighborhood finally had enough. Led by a retired Navy veteran named Jake Morgan, a man who had his own run-in with the HOA compliance officers, they called a meeting at the community park. Hundreds of angry residents showed up. Jake shared everything: the harassment, the illegal fines, the trespassing. He showed photos, documents, and security footage. People were furious. They organized, collected signatures, and voted to remove the entire HOA board. Lawsuits followed. Some former board members were sued personally for harassment and illegal property seizures. When the dust settled, Oak Ridge Estates wasn't perfect, but it was free. They rebuilt a voluntary association, one focused on safety, true maintenance, and neighborly respect, not fear. Today, Mr. Pugley, Howard's American flag waves proudly in his yard again. Children draw rainbows in chalk without fear of punishment. And if you ever visit Oak Ridge Estates, you won't see uniform mailboxes or identical lawns. You'll see something much rarer, a community where people are allowed to live, love, and be themselves. Because after all, home isn't about rules. It's about freedom.